Thank you very much. It's very exciting. It's an actual medal. Oh, right. Now, I do have some slides, but I'm not sure what we're doing technically. Sorry. Do we have a skipper thing? That's the technical term. I'll tell you what, let's not worry about that. We'll just have that in the background and I'll just chat to you guys because it's a careers talk. So if I don't know what I've been doing for the last little while, then we're in a bit of trouble. I had a kind of non-standard start to my career with science. So I didn't go straight to uni from high school. Actually, I grew up in a town called Glenrothes. It's in Fife, and it's got quite a bit of a problem with unemployment and people leaving school quite early. And there's quite a lot of people that really kind of struggle financially in Glenrothes, and I was actually one of those families. So the family that I grew up in was a family with a single parent, with employment issues, and also with issues with mental health and addiction. And I did pretty well at school. I really enjoyed it. I really loved science, but no one in my family had been to university. I didn't know how I would even go about it. And actually, when it came to the age of 16, when things were just going so horribly wrong, I actually ended up living in a teenage homeless place, and I left school because I really didn't know what I was doing. And then over time, I got some mentoring from the people at the homeless place, and I found a job, and I saved up, and I rented a little flat, and I kept on saving. And actually, for years and years and years, I ended up working at a call centre for an energy company, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with working in a call centre. But my job was in complaints, so my job was actually for people to shout at me, which wasn't much fun. After a few years, I became a parent. I was quite young. I had my first child when I was 21, and I had my second child when I was 24. And he was very, very poorly, and he was in a hospital, and he had really major heart surgery when he was just tiny, and we nearly lost him a few times. And that experience that we had, and seeing all of the medics and the nurses and all of the supporting staff, made me realise that I wanted to do more with what I was doing. It was great being able to help people working for the energy company, because sometimes you have people that are very poor that really need help. But I wanted to do more. So I went to a college to find out about an access course. Now, I didn't actually qualify to go on that access course. My grades weren't good enough when I was at school. But I spoke to someone about it, and he listened to me, and he listened to what I was interested in, and he listened to my story. And he gave me a place on that access course. And I did really, really well, because it was something that I really, really wanted to do. I passed the access course. I applied to Dundee University to do life sciences. I initially applied to do biochemistry. And after 6 months, I realised I was really rubbish at chemistry, so I stopped that bit and stayed with biology. And when I got through to my last year at university, you do something called an honours project, and it's where you kind of either work in a lab or you do some sort of research, and you write quite a big report on it. And then that's actually what a lot of your grades for at the end of the time that you're at uni. And I did mine with another member of the Royal Society of Edinburgh, Nicholas Stanley Wall. And we did it all about the microbes that live in your gut, the jobs that they can do to keep you fit and healthy, and what happens when things go wrong with the type of microbes that are in your gut and the balance that's in it. It's called dysbiosis. And the way that I did that wasn't actually in the lab, it was actually in an outreach project. And what I did was I developed a project where you would have a fake gut, and you would add all the little different components, little different bacteria that live in your tummy in the proportions that you think they should go there based on the jobs that they do, and you give it all that information. You add in food, you add in water, and you squidge it all up just like your stomach does, and then you squeeze it out, and it looks like a poo. Yeah, like it really looks like a poo, and I wish that my slide would come up so you could actually see how realistic it looks. It's like a proper poo. Now, if you get the balance wrong, it's an absolute disaster and it's a mess. And that's really good, because then you can talk about the people getting involved in the project about dysbiosis and about the importance of looking after the microbes in your gut. And I was really, really lucky, because that project was really popular, probably because it was kind of gross. And it was rolled out across lots of schools, locally to where I was. It's been rolled out nationally, and a wee tiny bit internationally as well. I wrote a scientific paper about it, which got published, and I also got an email to say that it had been selected to be run at the White House STEM Open Day, which is kind of cool. But they didn't invite me to actually deliver it, which is a shame, so I didn't get to go over there. But I would like to think that one of the Obamas made one of my poos, which would be quite nice. Now, after I finished my undergrad, all the way through university, I didn't actually know what I wanted to do. I was kind of really unsure because I didn't really know how well I was going to do. I've always been rubbish at exams. Like, I'll walk into an exam and like my brain will go blank, and then I'll walk out and I'll remember what they are. So I never really felt that I was actually going to do that well to get a really, really good job. But actually doing that honours project, and because it did so well, I actually did do all right in my last year. And I decided that because of the way that the honours project was done, so you've got to research stuff about a specific topic, you've got to work out how you're going to tell everybody about it, you've got to work out how you're actually going to find out the information, and you've got to optimise things as well, then you've got to write about it and tell everybody about it. And I realised actually that sounds quite a bit like doing a job in scientific research. So I applied for a job to do a PhD, which is basically just research for a few years after you do your degree. And I decided to do it all about the microbes that live around the roots of plants, which sounds way different to what happens with the microbes that live in your gut, but it's actually not. It's actually really similar, because the microbes that live around the roots of plants do really important roles for plants, like they help plants get nutrients from soil, and they help to program the plant's immune system. And that's really important because we all kind of like to eat. So we need to work that out, especially with the population increasing, especially with issues about sustainability and what's going on with climate change at the moment. So we want to try and find ways that we can help plants to grow in a way that we don't need to put as much chemicals onto the soil. And that's what I do, and that's what I did. I just finished my PhD in December, and now I've started doing a job as a research assistant in the same lab, doing the same research. But what I also have been doing all the way through my PhD is lots and lots of different outreach things. Everything from stand-up comedy to events like this, where I just kind of talk to people about whatever they want to talk about. But the main thing that drives me to do outreach and why I think it's important isn't because there are lots of benefits for me, because there are loads. I get questions that really make me think about my research, and it really makes me a much better scientist. But the main thing that drives me is my background, and I really hope that there are times that when I speak to young people, because I know there are sometimes young people that have been in difficult situations when they're growing up and they're trying to do their best, and they maybe don't know what avenues to go down. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to turn someone into a scientist and have anything like that. But what I would really like to do is inspire people that if you're not sure what you want to do, if you're not sure about the routes that you want to go down, then the teachers that you work with, they're not in it for the money. They're in there to see you guys absolutely smash it, and they want you to do the absolute best that you can. So if you're not sure about the route that you want to take, or the decisions that you want to make in the future, or how to apply to university, speak to them. Because you can. And you will do awesome things, okay? And I'm just going to close with thanking you guys all for coming. It's amazing to see how many people are here and that are interested in the journeys that we've taken in our careers. And I hope to see you guys again in the future, whether it's as scientists, as educators, or as anything you want to be. Okay, thank you very much.